Okay, I see a few people popping on. Happy Tuesday, May 28th. Those of you who live in the United States probably had a long weekend because yesterday was Memorial Day here in the USA. I hope you took some time to remember the men and women who served our country but never made it home. And I hope you had a good weekend with family. I did. It was busy. Emily was up from Cincinnati, and of course we spent time at Andrea and John's. We did some pressure washing over there outside and some other things. And then the evenings we watched movies and ate. And yesterday we did a cookout. Oh, and we had a little pool party. Riley played in her pool again and is loving that. And big news, Riley is walking. She's doing really well, taking several steps at once, and gets so excited when she does it. So it's been a fun weekend. I hope yours was great as well. Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy 4-panel card, and it features the Frames and Flowers Specialty Designer Series paper from our new annual catalog. And that is part of our quick and easy portion of the catalog. And it allows you to, gives you pieces that are ready to use, but allows you the freedom to create by mixing and matching. So let's take a look at this fun fold card now, and I'll show you what that Frames and Flowers Specialty DSP is like and what it's all about. I'm going to flip my camera around now, and while I do that, would you please share this live video and invite others to join us? You can even tag your friends in the comments. Things don't want to flip. There we go. And one more. Okay, now we got it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is, well, I should put my glasses on first, huh? Let me move this a little bit more. I think that's better. Okay, the first thing I want to do is draw your attention to this part of the new annual catalog. So on page, what is it? So this section starts on page 13. Quick and easy options. These are for people who want to do some crafting, but maybe have limited time, or maybe you're fairly new to the craft and don't know where to begin, or don't have a lot of supplies. Or maybe you're on a tight budget for whatever reason. And sometimes you just like quick and easy. I have to admit, I do lots of designing of cards and for classes and Facebook Lives and such. And sometimes I just love going to the quick and easy options. I get to mix and match and come up with beautiful cards quickly and easily. So I just want to show you, there's some top 10 things to help you get started. But then we have our mix and match collection. We have, and you'll see me demonstrate some of these in the future, not today. Here's examples of the mixing and matching with the card bases and envelopes and the ephemera packs on the previous page. They give us some inspiration using various sketches, card sketches, or card layouts. And look at how my fingernail polish matches that. Isn't that funny? A little bit of talk about colors. And then we get into more of the mixing and matching. Memories and More. Well, now we're calling it Memories Plus, I guess. And then the last part of this section is the Frames and Flowers. This is specialty DSP. And I'm actually going to pull out a brand new package because I really want you to see what this is like. Sometimes, and the pictures in the catalog are good, but they don't really do this justice. So let me show you what this is all about. You're going to pull this out, and there's going to be 6 sheets in here. 2 of them are, or 3 of them, I should say, are regular DSP sheets printed on both sides. Okay, there's 1. A little mix up here. There's 2. So one side is pretty detailed, and the other is more things you would use as accents or even backgrounds on your cards. So you get 1 of each of those. I love the colors in there. And then you're going to get 3 sheets of die cuts. And let me show you these one at a time. I think it'll be easier if I do it this way. So here's the first sheet. And basically, these are designed that you can make 6 A2 cards, plus you have an extra strip of DSP right down the center that you can play with. All right. Then the next sheet, trying to do this carefully. This is what the next sheet looks like. These are all pre-printed and die cut for you. And they just pop right out. Super easy to pop them out. And you can see on this page, we've got foliage, we've got frames, little bouquets, wreaths. But look how easily these come out. All right. And then here's one more page of die cuts. Here you can see we've got some where you can stamp a sentiment inside. Again, pieces and parts to mix and match. Here's another wreath, 2 corners. Here's corner pieces. So it's just fun to do some mixing and matching with all of those. And I'm going to quickly just show you 6 cards I whipped up with the sheets that I said will make 6 A2 cards. Quick and easy. And then you can see I added some other elements. The circles I actually punched from the negative space that I punched out with some of these. So super and easy and fun. So you get the idea that you just lay everything out, punch everything out. You don't even have to have a plan. You just spread it out and you start creating. And trust me when I say it is so, so easy. Now today, I'm going to show you a 4-panel card. And I'm going to be using pieces from that Frames and Flowers, right? Frames and Flowers Specialty DSP pack. And the first thing I'm going to do is ask you to, and I'll just go with the first person, print 1, 2, or 3, all right? Which would you prefer I create with today, 1, 2, or 3? At the end of my live, I will show you cards, 4-panel cards that I made using all 3 of these. Okay, Tony was the first to jump in, and she says 3. So let me show you first the card base. The card base is going to be made with standard size 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. And I'm going to score twice. I'm going to score at 1 1/4 I'm going to flip it because my scores, my folds are going to be going different directions. You don't have to flip it, but I think it helps when your folds are going different directions. So 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4 and 4 1/4. And make sure I have my folds going the right way. Yes, normally we fold in half, right? And then that 1 1/4 flap is going to be folded to the front. All right, so that's the base. I have a piece of white that measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And now I need 4 pieces of DSP cut. So I'm going to start by cutting a strip that measures 5 1/4 inches high, 5 1/4. I need 2 pieces that measure 2 3/4 inch. Same size as that white insert for my card. Then I need 2 pieces that measure 1 inch by 5 1/4. So they're all the same height. The 4 DSP pieces plus that white for the inside to write on, they're all the same height, 5 1/4 inches. And 2 of the DSP strips are 1 inch wide. The DSP, larger DSP pieces and the white both measure 2 3/4 inch across. So let me show you how to put together this 4-panel card. The strips I'm actually going to flip over, and we're going to be using the reverse side on those 1 inch strips. So I'm going to start by adding this 2 3/4 inch piece. One thing I want to mention before I actually adhere anything is think of this as the front of your card, okay? This and this is the front of your card because you will see these 2 panels, okay? When you're creating, the person receiving your card is going to pull the card out of the envelope and they're going to see these 2 panels. So this is the front of your card. And if your DSP is directional, pay attention to that when you're cutting it and adhering it. So there's panel 1. Again, this front flap, you just want to fold it over to the front. And then I'm going to add one of the 1 inch by 5 1/4 inch strips to that front flap. I'm going to take this other 1 inch strip and holding this, the front flaps closed, I'm going to center it on the cardstock on the right, okay? That part of the back of my card base, okay? And then the next thing I'm going to do is add this other 2 3/4 inch panel right here. And then I'm going to put my white panel in. And if you want to stamp anything on this, of course, you want to stamp before you adhere it to your card base. So this is what it looks like. Okay, here's my 4 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, easy peasy, right? same size card base for all of our A2 cards. The difference is, in addition to scoring at 4 1/4, we also scored at 1 1/4 inch and folded that over. Now, and I don't have all of the die cut pieces because I've already used some. I've already used some for other cards, for samples I made that I'll show you in just a bit. But I think that could be a good choice with a little sentiment there. But I think I'm going to change it up even more. Let's see what I'm looking for. There are so many pieces. It's almost easier to really spread them out so that you can see what all you have. Oh, I like that one there. Some, well, they all coordinate with all of the DSP. Some coordinate with various DSPs a little bit better than others. Oh, I really like this one. So I'm going to use this one here, but I'm not going to adhere it just yet. Okay, I'm going to set all these aside. I can't wait to make cards with the rest of these. That is one thing when you, oh, let's put one on the inside. Should we do that? Yeah, let's put one on the inside. Okay, so this one I can put on right away. But before I adhere this one to the front, I actually want to choose my sentiment because I want to make sure that this die cut piece that I'm putting on works well with the sentiment I choose to use. Oops, I got some glue there. I'll have to clean that up when it dries. Won't that look cute? Okay. And I am in need of some sympathy cards to send to some of my cousins. My Aunt Esther, we called her Aunt Ezzie, one of my favorite people in the whole world, passed away this weekend. So I want to send some cards out to my cousins. But anyway, so I was thinking about sympathy cards. So I just pulled out a few. I know if you're like me, you don't really like making sympathy cards when you need them. So when I have to make one, I always make a few and hopefully have on hand for the next time. But I just went through some of my stamp sets and pulled out ones that I thought would be good for sympathy or thinking of you, that sort of thing. This caught my eye from So Sincere. That's one of my very favorites. Here, I love the sentiments. I'm not truly in love with the fonts, but nonetheless, I do really like the sentiments. I used this one earlier today, but here's a with deepest sympathy that I pulled out. And then here's a small with sympathy. So I think You're in My Heart and Prayers is the one I'm going to use from So Sincere, because this is good for sympathy, thinking of you, maybe somebody going through a life change or a stress, all kinds of things. So I'm going to stamp in Pretty in Pink. Yep, Pretty in Pink. I always say that now when I pull out Pretty Peacock. Ugh, I say pretty and gosh, there I go. I'm actually going to punch this piece first. Normally we stamp and then we punch so that we can put, have the sentiment centered, okay? Joan, I agree with you. Sometimes it's so hard to know what to say. Sometimes there aren't words that, or you feel like, I often feel like no matter what I say, I can't take their pain away. There is one, oh, I can't think of which set it is, but there is one that says there are no words. And sometimes I think, and that's okay, because it's okay for us to just tell people we care. without having the right words, correct? I would rather somebody tell me they care and not worry about saying the right thing than saying nothing at all. Just my thought on that. Okay, so I want this, when I stamp the sentiment, I want to get it pretty close to the right side of my punched piece. Because then I can add this. Okay, this is going to drive me nuts. Can you see that? It's not straight. So I am going to punch another. Maybe this time what I'll do is stamp towards the end of my scrap paper and then punch. I know that I need it as close to that edge as I can get it. And then I can see that it's straight in my punch. So that's why I show you different ways, because sometimes the one way we're used to doing doesn't always work. And maybe one thing works for somebody, but not somebody else. All right, now when I put this here, I want to pretty much have this all centered like that. All right, so I'm going to add my embellishment first. Just need a little bit of adhesive. I don't want to cover up any of the sentiment. And then I'm going to take a look and see where I should be putting my adhesive behind the tag, because I only want this to stick to this panel, this front flap. That's it. I don't want it to stick here or here. So I'm just going to take some adhesive and put it right there, pretty much where I gauged I would need it. Go just a little bit lower. And place it right there. Now, if I want to bling that up a wee bit, I can. I love these. I really love these. My other thought for the bling is the gold. Let's see if I can find it here. Come on. Okay, these are too green. I think they're a little too blingy for me there. So I'm going to, these gold ones maybe. Nah, I think I'm going to go with my first choice. These are the adhesive back textured dots. What I love about these is they do have great texture and great detail. I don't know how well you can see that. Can you see the detail on that? But look how thin they are. Trying to hold it just right. See how thin they are? They barely pop off the paper. So I'll grab my take your pick tool and I'm kind of going to plan where I want to put them first. I think I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, when we're working with embellishments, not always, but we typically use odd numbers, 3 or 5. Oh, Kathy, I bet that baby quilt is awesome. I'd love to see a picture of that. All right, so there is my 4-panel card. A little detail on the inside. I will be giving this away, so hang on for a moment. And then here are some of the sample cards I made. Same 4-panel fun fold sketch or layout, but different DSPs and different die cut pieces from the frames and flowers. Specialty DSP. Okay, a little bit of ribbon. This carried over. I love it. It's the, what do they call it? It's Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. Okay, just a nice texture. I love the width of it for making small bows. With Deepest Sympathy, again, this piece is from that Frames and Flowers Specialty DSP pack. Here I think I want to add some embellishment. Whoop, kind of flipped over on me. And put one here, and then 2 small ones over here. Okay, so one has the bow and one has the embellishments. And then here is my last one with that third DSP design. Notice what I did here. I stamped and I punched with the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. But some of these, well, the little flowers, and you're going to get several. You're going to get several in this Frames and Flowers DSP pack. I took 3 of those and used those as embellishments. I popped them up on mini dimensionals and used those as actual embellishments. I could even add little embellishments to the center of each flower if I want to do a little bit more, like that. Ooh, that's pretty. Drop that one there, and I think I'll do a small one on the smaller flower. I just got my putty refill, so I have to switch that out. All right, so I think when I send these cards, and I still need to make more. There are 6 families I need to send the cards to. But anyways, here is a good example of the 4-panel fun fold card. Super easy, right? Super easy. And really, you only have to remember one dimension. That, because you're going to do a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4 1/4, and then the additional score line at 1 1/4 inches to fold that flap forward. It still stands, okay? And it just gives a really nice presentation when you pull it out of the envelope and it's standing on somebody's counter. So I think the people that you make your 4-panel fun fold cards for will really love them. I have a feeling they will enjoy receiving them as much as you will enjoy making them. And if you don't have, well, if you do have the Frames and Flowers Specialty DSP pack, I hope I gave you some inspiration and ideas of ways you can use it today. And if you don't have it, you might want to add it to your wish list so you can get it on your next order, because it's lots of fun and you will see me creating with this much more. Alrighty. Okay. A code word. Somebody said, commented recently, when you say code word, it sounds so mysterious. So anyways, how about if we do So Sincere? So Sincere. That is the name of the stamp set where I got this sentiment from. You're in my heart and prayers. So let's type in the comments now, So Sincere, if you would like to have your name entered into the drawing to receive this 4-panel fun fold card I made in today's Facebook Live. All right, any questions? I'm going to scroll back really quickly. I kind of got out of the habit of scrolling back to answer questions. Usually I catch them. Okay, no questions. Great. All right, Margaret, thank you. Thank you. Aunt Ezzy was one of the most wonderful people I will ever know in my lifetime. And I have such good memories spending time with her and her family, good talks she and I have had. So I'm really going to miss her. But she was 85. She was my mom's, my mom's younger sister. My mom grew up in a family of 10 children on a farm, and my mom was number 8 out of the 10. Aunt Ezzy was 9. And at this point now, there are only 2 left. So it's kind of sad when you see that previous generation leaving us. But I believe they are in a better place, and I will see them again. But thank you. All right, everybody, have a great night. I will not be live on Thursday because I do plan to go to that funeral, and it is about 2.5 hours from my house. So no Facebook Live this Thursday, May 30th, okay? And for more creative inspiration, I hope you'll check out my YouTube channel, Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe, or even my blog and website, stampinpeace.com. Bye-bye.